faster and faster. Okay? Well, maybe that'll fix it. That's the way we've been acting for decades and decades. That it's beating our head against the wall. It's insanity. It's in madness. But that's the only answer society seems to have. Raise your taxes. We're not going to have a discussion about supply and demand and progress and currency debasement and cost of living inflation and how that's really a tax. Okay? We're not going to have that discussion. That's too complicated. It's just easier just to, hey, I work for the government, I work for the city, I work for the county, I work for the state, or some quasi aspect of it in the bureaucracy, or I'm a proxy bureaucrat and I get money from taxes. So my answer is always the same. Just keep raising your cost of living, and that goes in my pocket. That's the fix. That's the only fix I can think of. That's the answer. That's the answer to everything. That's the answer we've had for 55 years since they murdered JFK. We're not going to talk about why does the Federal Reserve still exist when he was abolishing it. And we say we honor JFK and he was a great American president and all this crap, and we do nothing to honor his wishes, his wills for the American people. You think we'd have these problems? You think that we'd be in the dire straits we are? This has everything to do with our freedom being stolen. Don't you understand? That's what happens when you continually debase currency. And some are profit from it, and some lose from it. One person's profit is another person's loss. How do you think they steal your freedom? How do you think they oppress, keep people down? Steal the American dream right out from under their nose of home ownership, middle-class lifestyle. What do you think? What do you think's going on here? Let's all admit it's really that evil, and it's that simple, and the fixes are there. But there's all these people that are dead set opposed to the fixes, man. It's sick, man. We're sick. We're a sick species. We need God's help, and we need to admit it. Okay? Satan and his demons are crawling all over all of us, man, and I'm no exception to the rule, man. I get my share, believe me. You can't escape it. The spirit of the air is there. He hates me because I love justice. That's enough. That's enough, man. You're hated, believe me. If you want freedom for everybody, you're hated. I guarantee you. Because absolute freedom, universal freedom, includes financial freedom. Being free from these satanic monsters who would be utterly neutered, who would starve to death without money to hold over your head like a freaking, what do they call these things they cut off your head with? The guillotine, right? That's what it is. It's like a guillotine. You better comply. You better acquiesce to our wishes and go with the flow, or you're living under the bridge, man. I mean, that's it. That's it. It's the laws. Every one of us is breaking how many laws every day? It's like unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, that's it. Even we're talking law enforcement out there breaking the law. There's something we're doing that's not right, but we can't seem to help doing it because we know, hey, well, we've got to survive here. So blah, blah, blah. We have our excuses. We rationalize. But, I mean, we know that the rules and regulations are put in place by people that are exempt from the rules and regulations. Do you understand how this works? So the game is rigged up one side and down the other. Okay? And it's about enslaving people, taking their freedom, not giving them freedom. So that's what the whole currency debasement, raising your cost of living, is all about. It's coin clipping. And it's horrible. It's just, it's horrible. And the effects are profoundly grave, man. We're talking life and death. People die from these kind of problems. Do you understand? All over the world. America is setting the example. We're infecting and affecting people's well-being all over the world from our policies here. We're screwing it up for everybody, man. And we better take it seriously because we're all going to stand before God one-on-one, and we're going to answer for our beliefs. And economic issues are going to be at the top of the list. Remember, this is not coming from just me. This is biblical stuff, man. This is the teachings of Christ himself on these issues. Okay? I want to be very clear with everybody about that. Woodward. Okay, this idiot, Bob Woodward. What an idiot. What a scumsack. And looking at that guy's face, what an utter clown. I'd like to just, I don't know what I'd like to do with the guy. I don't want anything to do with the guy. To be honest with you, he's not my cup of tea. I don't like him. And this op-ed, this anonymous op-ed, you know what? I mean, that is diabolical. I almost think it's so over the top diabolical that somebody that likes Trump actually put it out, because it is so over the top and just sure to gain the consternation of the public at large. Even people that hate Trump say, well, you know what, that's that is treasonous, that is traitorous, and that's an enemy within that confirms all these conspiracy theorists that say, hey, there's insiders, evil insiders that could pull off inside jobs like 9/11. That just confirms all their beliefs about that. So that's, if anything, that's going to end up helping Trump, and it's just repugnant. It's just an anonymous scumbag, lying traitor, and probably in all likelihood, no such person even exists in the Trump administration. I don't think. Alex Jones thinks it's Nikki Haley. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe time will tell. Maybe it won't. We know there's a lot of people who'd love to have Trump dead. If they can't grapple a helm out of his hand and keep him from turning the good ship America around to making it great again, when people on a minimum wage job could afford to be a middle class homeowner, realize the American dream. Okay, if they can't prevent him from doing that, because at the end of that's what I'm looking forward to. The reason I voted for Trump and still support him is because he said he's ashamed of homelessness. That's what it took, and that's what he said. And I got to trust somebody. I've got to believe somebody. And that's why, I want an end to desperate poverty. Let's bind the wound on the collective body of Americans where it's hemorrhaging. Let's do it logically. That's logic to me. It's not my wound. But I can't enjoy the level of prosperity that I have. Most people would laugh at that notion that I have any level of prosperity. But it's all subjective. It's all relative, right? I'm not the poor bastard that's going to die out in the cold tonight. So yes, relative to them, I'm rich. I'm free. They're the ones that aren't free. Look what we're doing to these people. They're dying. That's where the wound is hemorrhaging, man. So let's fix it. That's why I'm supporting Trump, man. This is what I want to see. I want the evidence to be we're ending homelessness once and for all, permanently, man. Never again. We're going to make progress, real progress. He's get the ship turned if they don't grapple the wheel from him. And that's what they're desperate to do, is get it before people figure it out and say, wow, Trump's a really good guy. He's the blue-collar, working-class president, the one that's for the people, the regular people, the unsung heroes, the multitudes of unsung heroes, the hundreds of millions of unsung American heroes out there just doing mundane jobs out there that are critical to the welfare of the society. Think about all those jobs, folks. And they get no kudos. They get no status. Nothing, man. They work for a freaking little paycheck. And they'll be lucky if they can save any money or even pay their bills without going on welfare, food stamps, or some other subsidy, welfare subsidy. I'm sorry, but you know what? God knows. I hope Trump, gets to live, and that God just is in there, and he's protecting Trump, and he's protecting all those people that want this ship to turn, that want to dry up desperate poverty in America and set the right example for other nations. Okay? I want your taxes lower. I'm a fiscal conservative, believe me. But I'm also very liberal. Okay? I'm very generous. And I turn to God. Why am I generous? Because God is generous. Who gave you your existence, your life? Every bit of enjoyment and pleasure you've ever had came from him. Do you give him credit for all that? I do. I wouldn't have it any other way. I couldn't enjoy it. I enjoy life to the fullest, man. You'll never meet somebody that could be more gratified and satisfied than me, even though I'm frustrated as all hell because the worm hasn't turned yet. Trump hasn't been able to turn the ship. No other president has even tried before him, before someone like Jimmy Carter, okay? And he had an awful lot of evil people that hated him. And JFK tried, and you know that he spoke out against these secret societies. You know who hated him. So you know who hates Trump, okay? I mean, this abortion issue, and people talk about choice. That's the whole issue they got, that it's a woman's choice. Well, as a man, is it my choice? I want to walk around naked, okay? I want to walk around, and if I want to fondle myself in public, it's my body. You're saying you're going to draw the line there, and you're going to dictate to me where I have choice and where I don't. So, but you're not, you understand, when it comes to a woman's body and what she does with that, that's sacrosanct. But what I do with my body is not. And I'm not saying this is what I want to do. Believe me, you're not gonna find me naked anywhere where it's not expected. Let's put it that way. So, look, I'm just trying to make a point is that we are riddled with madness in our society, and we're going to need God's help as individuals. We've got to turn to God. This is our only hope as individuals. Turn to God, personal prayer, communing with Him, fellowshipping, asking for advice, receiving the advice, taking the advice, and sharing it with others. Okay, because we're in dire straits, folks, and I don't know how to say that. I don't want to rant and rave anymore. All I know is that we're in one whole hell of a lot of trouble, and if we're going to extricate ourselves from this, it's going to take God's help. And we're going to have to get very, very serious about knowledge and about embracing it, about coming out of confusion, intellectual honesty, okay? And if we do that as conservatives and liberals and socialists and communists and Democrats and Republicans, we're going to be able to be victorious over the enemy. And the enemy is an enemy of God. It's an enemy of humanity. It's an enemy of justice. It's an enemy of peace and safety and security and contentment and freedom and prosperity, okay? And happiness. It's against that. They're evil people. I don't know what keeps them ticking. Satanic forces. I just can't explain anybody that loves money more than they love human beings. That doesn't understand. They think they can escape judgment. They think they can escape the effects of osmosis and the spirit of the air, sapping your enjoyment of life because others are being deprived of enjoyment of life because you've got to keep your position in place in this world. And you're gonna say, well, I've got to do that at the expense of somebody, and that's just the way the game works. It's just we're gonna devour each other more and more, and social Darwinian economic principles and precepts that are in full force. I mean, it's evil, man. It's so evil and divisive. The wealth imbalance always growing. Where does it end? Anybody with two brain cells to rub together can see this thing is untenable. We can't sustain this forever. We're Americans. Our fall from grace has been so much more profound and dramatic because we had a semblance of freedom in this nation at one time. We all had hope to enter middle class home ownership and to be free, okay, financially free. And it's been gone. It's been snatched away. And more as each passing day, they keep raising our cost of living. People are scared. Their rent goes up 50 or $100. And they're scrambling. They don't know where it's going to come from. They don't know. I mean, they take another job and they're depriving somebody else that's less aggressive of having that job. And this is the way the game's got to be played. Two nice people, one's more aggressive than the other, and he gets the work, so the other guy's got to live under the bridge and die out there. So what's the answer? They're going to kill the weak through attrition? So the homeless just have to die, and if they were smart, they just march off to a FEMA death camp and accept their injection, so they could just die, go peacefully into the night, like a scene from Soylent Green or something. Do what's best for the planet, and just we don't need you anymore, man. We got enough young, strong workers. Do your job. Just go die. It's unskilled work. We don't need you. I mean, isn't that the atmosphere, the spirit of the air? Isn't that what it's telling all of us? People don't actually say these things, but this is what the spirit of the air, this is going about, man. It hates us. Like the Bible says, this evil one, Satan, it prowls about like a roaring lion seeking who it may devour. And that's anybody that loves justice, man. It's anybody that wants freedom for everybody. It's anybody that's teaching others the truth and exposing the evildoers. It hates you, man. You know that. It hates you if you're a good, decent, upright person that just wants justice to be the rule of the day on earth. You, my friend, are hated. Okay? a lot of this stuff I've already touched on, so I'm not going to have to go over it again. Yeah, Alex Jones in Washington, and he just would have been, he'd done himself and all of his audience a big favor to stay cool, calm, and collected, and he just couldn't do it, man. Keep it in your pants, Alex, metaphorically. It's your tongue, keep it, man, get it on a freaking leash, brother. Let God keep it on a leash. If you're too weak, man, just say, God, help me, man. Just zipper this mouth, and unless I'm speaking with your spirit and with your counsel, don't let me say another word. But I'm really trying to be effective. Okay, if you're for real, man, then get serious about this thing. You've got to shut the hell up, start listening, and when you do talk, be respectful, be courteous.